Hey everyone, Mac here. We're continuing our Hitman Absolution walkthrough slash playthrough. We're up still playing on hard as we will the entire game, and this is mission 9, shaving Lenny. From the beginning, walk forward, move to the right. We're gonna get our first disguise, so I don't get the suit only. I get spotted once, I think at the very end, although I might not. Although it's easily avoidable, so you guys can just change that about your playthrough. Grab this guy through that window, seal, ledge, whatever you want to call it. You're going to subdue him. You can snap his neck. It won't change your score. Grab his disguise. We're going to sneak out, leave his body there temporarily. We're going to come back for it in less than a minute. Sneak around here. You can jog a little bit. Stay crouched. No one will see you. Push this guy over the edge. And then we're going to go back to that body, and we're going to dump it into the same pit. If you get 3 people into that pit in one playthrough, you'll get a challenge. I already got that challenge, I think, so you won't see me get it. You'll see a little counter on the top, something about oil. So that's what the challenge is called. Now we're going to go for our first assassination. To do that, we're going to jump out this window, uncrouch to seem normal, or at least more normal than a bald guy that, just killed 2 people. Stand somewhere near here until you have those 2 guys next to the pink car start talking. As soon as they start talking, you can stop walking. And we're going to go back exactly to where we just were. You can go directly back there as soon as you hear them talking, or you can wait it out. I went back relatively early. I could have waited quite a bit longer. And just sit in here. You can actually stand in here or do whatever you want. You can actually go up to the character and talk to him. He'll ask you about being a police officer, stuff like that. Obviously, we're playing Hitman here. There's a ton of ways to do every mission. Literally, we're just going to wait for this guy. And he's going to stand basically exactly where the first cop we killed was. And we're just going to push him over the edge into that pit. And once we do that, that's our first target eliminated. This is kind of a more open world area. And that's why you have a lot of options. This character will probably revisit this place 1 or 2 more times. So keep that in mind. You can go in a completely different order than me. Now we're going to go to the store where the second guy is. Sorry about that. We're not going to kill him in the store as he's leaving once we get in there. And we're going to go for him once he gets to a different location. And then his friend's going to end up in that same store and trigger that radio. You'll see me use a little bit of instinct to see when he's coming down. If you don't trigger the radio, the lady is going to start talking to him, and it's going to take him a lot longer to exit the store. And I don't know if he goes to the same place as usual. So make sure you trigger that radio, and he'll walk safely out of the building. And this lady here will go to the radio. This is where I get spotted. I could have used instinct, or I could have walked out the other doors. But it's not a big deal. I was struggling a little bit with this section, and I don't actually end up anywhere near a silent assassin rating. I'm really confused by the ratings, guys. I don't know. I do the whole mission. I get spotted once, get every assassination, clean kills. I get spotted, but I don't get any true real warnings. I use the checkpoints I don't know. I use all fiber wires, hide all the bodies, don't kill any civilians for the most part. And when I do, I make sure to dispose of them so I don't get the negative points. And for some reason, I'm still getting a lot of professional and veteran ratings. We're going to sprint through this alley, through this door, trigger the checkpoint. And I think I grabbed a brick earlier. You might want that brick. If you don't have the brick, it's okay as long as you have a good amount of instinct. We're going to sit here and wait for our main character, not main character, but one of the targets to walk by us. And once he walks by us, we're going to start following him for a few hallways. If you have that brick from earlier, which was next to where the police officer died, the very, very first kill we got, you can throw it right there and just walk behind the target. If you don't have a brick, you should be able to get away with it on hard by just crouching and walking. And you can always just use a dab of instinct right at the end if, for whatever reason, you fail. We're going to get into this room behind him, and we're going to try to choke him out. Use the fiber wire pretty early. I think I get spotted because the door didn't close, and no, actually I don't. We're going to stuff his body into the, whatever you want, what do you call that? Storage / closet / whatever. And after that, you want to trigger the checkpoint. And from this checkpoint, I did fail, so I reloaded it. We're going back to kind of where we came from, literally retracing our steps. We're going back to that same store where we triggered the radio, where the lady spotted me earlier. Hopefully, if you do it, she doesn't spot you. For this section, I do use instinct, just a tiny bit, literally half a second, just to ensure that I don't get caught, as I didn't want to have to restart. We're walking around back to the checkpoint I triggered before. You can actually re-trigger it once you trigger the other one after killing the second target. We're gonna sprint through this alleyway again. Watch out just for this guy really quick. He might spot you. Don't trigger any car alarms or anything like that. It's just gonna end up really sketch for you if you do that. We're going in the same place. We can keep an eye on the target if you want. He, I think, goes back to that store upstairs regardless of what you do. But you don't want to get there before him, as that can kind of be a little weird unless you hide in the closet. But then I don't know if he'll turn around and you can get him in time. So I do recommend you try to follow him there and not beat him there. You know, just out of personal experience from this level. Use a little bit of instinct there just in case. That cop that stands in front of that store, he has hawk vision and he can see you literally across the map. It's ridiculous. To be safe, you got to cross in between these two cop cars, and as you're walking towards the store, make sure you turn left as soon as you can. Through the doors, and we're getting into that store again from earlier. You want to wait till he gets up, like starts going upstairs, and then trigger the radio. I'm not sure if he'll get alarmed by that radio, which is why I decided to trigger it after he went upstairs. I pull out my fiber wire. I almost get spotted by poor lady, whatever. And if I just waited a second longer, it would have worked out. We're going to come up behind him, choke him out using the fiber wire, and we're going to dump his body into that closet. Now you know that there's a short alleyway that you can use to kind of get from the front to the back of the map. I've shown you it twice, and right at the end there's that checkpoint that I showed you earlier, the one I've used twice now. I do actually get a silent assassin rating, just to let you guys know. The bad thing about that checkpoint is that we did trigger it earlier, which means we can't re-trigger it unless we went to the other one, so that's not worth it. I'm just kind of looking around at some stuff here in the room. What you can do is you can plant a remote explosive and turn the gas on, and if he's chilling in there, you can detonate that explosive and it'll look like an accident because the gas was on. This lady's just chilling like a villain. Sneak out the front door, use a tiny bit of instinct just because that cop is an asshole on this mission. And once we do that, we're just going to walk away, cross the street, and to the right hand side where you see the purple car and the gray car is that alleyway where you can basically kind of sprint and do whatever you want. As soon as you literally cross, like right here, you can crouch, and for some reason they won't be suspicious even if you're in their vision. We're going to run to the end. I end up trying to use that checkpoint again, obviously to no avail, as that checkpoint was just used. So this part can be a little sketchy. I actually sit here for a few seconds trying to think about what I should do and trying to see if there are paths. If the guard there's a cop sitting, if he would kind of turn around, as he was basically in the only doorway I had. I got the car alarm and I thought he was going to come from the right hand side. He actually comes from the left, so keep that in mind. I followed him through the walls with my instinct, and he comes through the left, and as soon as he comes through the left, you can actually sneak just straight through. Once you make it through here, there should be no one other than that cop in front of you. Don't worry about him. He will not notice you. He's oblivious to everything. Once we get that, pick the lock, checkpoint right after the lock. We're in the last section of this map. You'll spawn here, pick up the hammer just in case you need it. It was on the table to my right hand side. I didn't pick it up. Not a huge deal. I end up improvising a little bit. Just sneak here. You don't have to use instinct like me, but I used it because I kind of memorized everything I needed to do because I failed a few times. So I don't actually end up using any instinct later, which is why I was comfortable using it right there. Obviously, scale this building exactly where I scaled it. Move through the window. Grab the sleeping pills on the table. You will need them for later. and I think they're there for a reason, pretty much in the open. As soon as that cop turns to his left, we can cross through his right and then run down the hall. At this point, we're going to dress up as the barber. The disguise is right there on the table. Keep in mind, there's a cop in this room. You will need to take him out unless you want a messy situation when Larry comes to get his haircut at 12 o'clock, which is something you learned in the previous mission when you were talking to one of your hostages, I guess you could call them. We're going to drag that body into the next room behind us, and there is a closet slash storage slash, we need a name for it, guys. Comment in the section below if you have any ideas on what to call this. Oh, this is an armoire, or maybe more of a, I don't know. Oh, no, it's a closet, hangers, whatever. We put the body in there, and we can run back. Don't crouch, uncrouch yourself just so you seem more normal. I don't know if they really care. Walk by all this food, and then walk by the pizza. You have to walk by the pizza to trigger those two guys from leaving that kitchen. If you don't walk by the pizza, they're going to chill there. And you need this little room to be completely empty for you to kill this target. This is the first target I'm going for. I pull out my fiber wire. As soon as that door closes, we're going to fiber wire him from behind. I bumped into him to kind of delay him. That was completely accidental. If you don't bump into him and just come up behind him as soon as that door closes, you will get him without a problem. No need to bump into him like I did. But you do need that door behind him to close, or else everyone from outside will see you. From here, you have one of two options. Larry is going to be right there. He's marked in blue. He's not a target, which is why he doesn't have... he's not in your top right corner, and he's not highlighted red when you use your instinct. And there's also the other enemy. I recommend you check where that other enemy is. If he starts walking away from where you just killed that guy, you can go get him. If not, he was probably walking back just how you saw on my screen. If he's at that barbecue right outside the door, leave him, and we're going to go get Larry. And just so you guys don't get too bored, I'm going to put some dominatrix stuff on the TV there for you guys to watch. We're going to follow him to his haircut, and this is where the sleeping pills come in handy. I believe we need them because it says we need to, what was the word it said? Sorry, I missed it. But I ended up punching him in the back of the head, which I found weird because I had the sleeping pills, but I guess that was for something else. Lenny is subdued. We're going to leave his body there. Don't worry, no one will find him. And now we're going for that last guy. He walks to take a piss. Unfortunately, I didn't get there before him, but if you unhook some wires, he'll go take a piss slightly further into the area, I think. And you're less likely to be found out. I didn't know what to do. I had a hammer here, and then I picked up this axe. I toss it at his head as he's walking away, which is a terrible idea. I should have gotten it while he was still against that wall. But I climb on this ledge right away, and I'm not spotted. Nothing happens to me. Perfect, in my opinion, because it could have ended really bad, and I would have had to restart 5 minutes. And it's a pretty difficult 5 minutes. I wouldn't say difficult with the strategies I'm giving you, but developing it and making sure, going through it 1 or 2 times to make sure everything worked was a little difficult. Once we kill him, hopefully with that axe in the back of the head, we're coming back to this spot. We need that cop to go to the left. Depending on how fast you get up here, I got lucky. He went to the left right away, and we're sneaking back exactly to the barber's area. There's obviously a few ways to do it. Now that I think about it, just for the first time I realized that I'm in a barber's suit and I don't need to sneak by that cop because he wouldn't find me suspicious. But I'm a little dumb in the head, and that's what I did. So we're going to grab his body and pull it out these doors, and mission's over. Silent Assassin rating. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'll see you in the next episode, which is mission 9. Super short. Bye-bye.